everybody. It is Thursday here in Vancouver. Let me know where you're coming from and where you're watching from today. I have a very special guest today. I have Mayumi from the Plant-Based Workshop here on the West Coast. Let's see, view this request. Oh. We did meet at the gluten-free show a few years ago, and we have become friends, and I'm very excited to have her today on my Founders Chat. Except there she is.
Hello.
It's always my favorite part is trying to figure out how to get it working.
Yeah, it took me a second too. It's the first time I'm doing a live interview. So.
Yay! Well, I'm very excited that the first time is with me. So thank you so much. So I wanted to tell everybody, today is our Founders Chat with Mayumi Bae from the Plant-Based Workshop, and it is located in the North Shore, so North Vancouver, for those not on the West Coast. And so basically I get to ask you a bunch of questions, learn more about you, your family, and your company, and then to make sure that everybody knows how to follow you, where to get your great products, and of course, how to follow your journey moving forward. So first off, I'm Caitlyn Vanderhank, President and CEO of Kidstar Nutrients. We are coming live on my This Healthy Caitlyn page. I also have a blog. It's called This Healthy Mom, thishealthymom.com. So I like to do more fun stuff on this page and more business stuff on the Kidstar Nutrients page. And so today, I'm introducing you to Mayumi Bae, and she's going to tell us a little bit about our company. I would love to know what started you on your journey with the Plant-Based Workshop. We do have a little bit in common. We have some family members on both sides of our companies, so which always adds a nice element to the dynamic of a company. But let us know why you started the Plant-Based Workshop.
Yeah. Well, the Plant-Based Workshop, we specialize in Asian-inspired plant-based meals. We were born in Japan and immigrated to Canada. And we really believe that becoming plant-based is the key to living an abundant lifestyle. And originally, our focus on wellness really started 10 years ago when our father had passed from early onset Alzheimer's disease. And, around that time, we really wanted to live our life with intent and delicious, flavorful food really being the center of our family growing up. We recognized the need for more diverse options in the plant-based world. Yeah. And when I became plant-based, it was life-changing for me. And so it was something that we naturally really wanted to share. Always want to enjoy the foods that we grew up with. And so, plant-based Japanese food or Asian-inspired food was quite important and wasn't readily available 10 years ago. And so we opened up the workshop Vegetarian Cafe in 2016, and we literally watched customers really devour those delicious meals that at our flagship cafe. And then we quickly aspired to expand our reach, in packaged quality meals. And so a couple of years back, we created that consumer packaged brand and rebranded as the Plant-Based Workshop. And, we're a very inclusive community, and we know that one single approach doesn't necessarily meet everybody's needs. And no matter your current diet, flexitarian, plant-based, we just really aspire to create undeniably delicious foods. After all, everybody enjoys a really delicious meal.
It's very true. I actually, while you were talking about that, I was thinking about, I was actually raised, my mom's a vegetarian, and so my dad was not. And so depending which parent made the meal was really dependent on what we were eating. But she really got the same thing. There wasn't a lot of options when growing up, and everything had to be creative. You had to make sure that, to get the right textures, the right taste, all these things without using meat or meat-based products, it does take a lot. And following your story, I think you became plant-based after your second child, correct?
Yes, so I did have a lot of health. I had thyroid problems, hormonal problems right after my second child. Now it's been 13 years. that's when I went ruthless in terms of experimenting with my body. And I just really wanted to get to a place where I had a lot of energy. And being plant-based was the key for me. And I felt younger, I felt more energetic. And I really wanted to show people that you didn't have to give up good food
Yes.
to be able to attain the things that you want in life. And I wanted to definitely, enjoy all the flavors. And I'm just such a foodie, so I did experiment with lots of recipes, and it ended up being something that I was super passionate about.
Yeah, no, you can definitely tell. And also, since we did meet at a trade show and we were right next to each other, I tried
That's right.
every single sample multiple times, and every single one, I was like, yes, I like this. Yes, I like this. I would that, and now when I see a trade show, so I'm like, where are the samples? My kids love the broths, and
Yeah.
sometimes when you're trying to get your kids to have new things, they're just like, I don't want to try that. No, I don't want to try that. And
Mhm.
so it's been really nice that like I continually bring it out and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I like this. I like this. And I'm like, yes, you do. You please try it. It's amazing. Nutritious. And also, interesting enough, there's quite a bit of iron content in some
That's
of your
right.
products. I did notice that, as a mom of kids that need iron
Mhm.
in their diet. So
Mhm.
very important. And so between you and your brother, I know you kind of have like the flavor side,
Mhm.
and then he has a degree in chemistry, right? Like food chemistry or
Yes, yeah, science. Yeah, yeah. And he's also an athlete himself, so he wanted to prove that he could gain muscle without meat protein and all of those things. And he's actually he competes in CrossFit, and he's done kendo all his life. And same with my sister that has recently joined, or not recently, but a couple of years back, she has joined full time as well. And so we all want to live the best life that we could possibly live, and being plant-based was definitely one of those things that really help us do things the long term,
yes.
and really enjoy that. And so, yeah, like it's been something that we've been really thankful for. Like health is something, as we stand by it, and it's really important.
Yeah. No, it's true though, because think about it. The things we put into our bodies, the way we treat our bodies is really
Hmm.
how our body's going to treat us later in life.
Exactly.
And if we want to live a certain way, we do have to focus on what we're eating, what we're supplementing with, how active we are,
Mhm.
de-stressing our lives. Like all of it matters. And each little, compartment of our life is important to make sure that
That's right.
throughout life we enjoy it. So
Yeah, and honestly, 10 years ago, there was really not very many options out there in terms of when you said you were a vegetarian, everybody was like, "Don't come to my
yes,
house," or
yes.
or you go to a restaurant and literally Caesar salad's the only thing, and that wasn't even vegan.
I was
So
gonna say there's sometimes it's not vegan either.
that's
I
right.
actually, so
That's right.
I don't eat a few nuts. I have a mild allergy to it. And I remember going to my first vegan restaurant in Vancouver and I said, oh, I can't eat these 3 nuts. And they looked at me and they were like, you shouldn't be here. And I was like, but I want to eat vegan. So it's true that there wasn't a lot of options. If you couldn't have certain things that were
That's
being commonly used to replace meat and protein, your options just kept
that's,
dropping. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
it's very hard. So each of the founders that I've talked to over the last few months have all kind of come from the same need in life. We've all had an experience. We've all wanted to solve something. We've all wanted to
Mhm.
move forward, get more options, get better products on the market. So it's always exciting to hear a story from a founder of the same type. You had a problem, you had a need, you knew you wanted to solve it, you brought your family into it, which, coming
Good
from a
and
woman
bad.
who's always worked with her family, how do you enjoy working with your family?
Actually, it's uh it's been great. You know, um, no matter what, we always show up.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that has been consistent. You know, even if we have our disagreements, we always show up the next day and we work it out. And actually, each one of us brings something different to the table. Um, uh, Tack does everything that I don't want to do. So, you know, he's really good at researching and fixing things, and you know, having a food business, there's always something. We expect something every day.
Yes.
And especially having run a restaurant for 9 years, you know, fridges, freezers, electric problems, like all of those things. Uh, he's fixed and saved us so much money. And he does a lot of the paperwork that I don't want to do. Yeah, he pretty much does everything on the back end, and you know, I just do the fluff.
That is right. You.
But yeah, and Hanaka's added a great operational experience as well, and she runs the cafe right now, and she also does a lot of the production operational things. And so we all pretty much do about 3 or 4 jobs, I would say.
That's pretty common in the entrepreneurial world. Who does that? Oh, I do that one. Do you know how? Yeah, I figure it out. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I love how you said that when you work with family, they always show up. And it is amazing because it's true. You know, I've worked with my mom since I was probably 17 in some fashion. And then I did the supply chain. And then even now we're in the same building. We don't work together, but we're in the same building. And, you know, you never really realize how much you like being around, like when you're not with them. You're like, oh yeah, no, but I see them every day. I do this, you know, and it's true. They show up, they're there, they ask you how you are. Yeah. You know, it's a different level of understanding what you're going through as well.
Yeah, 100%.
It's pretty amazing having family around, you know, through all of it.
Yeah.
Even
I mean, I see them every day, but we managed to go camping together this summer. It was just one of those things where, you know, it's we work together, we play together. We're really a close-knit family. When we immigrated, we only had each other, and so we didn't have uncles, aunts, and lots of extended family. So that was something that was my mom's kept us all really close, and we all still live in North Vancouver, you know, just a couple kilometers away from each other. And so, yeah.
So I have some good questions
that
we had to get through. Although the backstory, actually, we could probably go back to that. Your story is amazing, and everything about your products are also top notch. So I wanted to see, I think it was in I can't remember where I read it, but you were at the UBC kitchen. Mm-hmm. So when you guys decided to go from the cafe into consumer packaged goods, mm-hmm. how did that transition look on the formulations, the packaging, the back end side?
Yeah, actually, the answer is really simple. You're gonna be disappointed. So we really just followed the demands of our customers from our direct community. So initially, our frozen products, our frozen line was first, and we really just had a demand for products, our dishes to be enjoyed in the comfort of their own homes. So we just simply took the recipes from the restaurants and made them into a frozen quality product line. And then the most recent shelf stable product line that we have, like the Nudes ramen kits and the mochi cake mixes, were really innovations with intent. And so those items, we really put some research into the market, tested trends, listened to the consumers who are really hoping for, you know, that convenience and quality at home. And obviously the trends changed a bit post-COVID. And so it was, yes, like innovation with intent for the shelf stable product.
Which is pretty amazing. And those ones are the ones that you had at Expo in Anaheim in March, correct? The news are what you launched in the States as well.
So we have not yet launched them yet in the States. But we wanted to, it was a research trip for us to see if there was a market out there for us. And it seems like there is. And I think we do want to just business is always just done a little bit easier and simpler within your vicinity.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that there was going to be a success for these products. So we're concentrating on Canada and the West Coast for now, and then hopefully, we'll end up in the States.
Yes, I know. Well, it's always a very exciting thing talking about going to the US because, of course, the population is so much larger. And of course, when we think about the West Coast, even just, BC, Alberta, Washington, California, even that in its own is a very large population and a very large customer base. So it gets very exciting, even thinking about portions of the US. Yeah. But so I wanted to ask, have you been part of any groups? So either like an accelerator or a community that you found useful throughout your journey?
That's a great question. Yes and no. So yes, there's been like numerous accessible communities, programs, groups. The only thing that, like, speaking candidly, like that I have to say is that the paperwork alone and the time, the resource allocation towards those things is an absolute full-time job. And as a bootstrap business, it often feels like those initiatives are like great but at the same time just like extremely taxing in terms of the pressure to be part of those groups and communities and the fight against time and resources.
Yeah.
How about you? I would love to hear your opinion on
I was going to say when you said the paperwork, I was like, yes. And then there's companies that will do the paperwork for you for a percentage of the grant. And you're just like, but the whole point is that I need
right.
the funds. So the paperwork is daunting. I know I talked to Patrice from Satya, and she was like, yeah, I had to create a database of information so that I could continually fill out the paperwork because it just was so much. And it's true. Then a new thing comes up and you're like, oh, there's a great grant coming up. There's this great award. And then you look at the application process and they want videos. They want 5 pages of answers. They want all your financial data, which is, yes, of course, because they're going to be giving you funds. But at the same time, you're right, as a bootstrap small business, entrepreneurs, families at home, it's a lot. And it is a lot. But and on that front, I was part of 2 different groups over the last 5 years. One of them was American-based, North American, Lenovo Goody, so the Goody Nation. That one was really awesome. Now, of course, it did have a lot of time as well you had to put towards it. It was weekly time and monthly times. But at the same time, it was very beneficial. And then I was part of Venture Park Labs. Was that a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? That's the Arlene Dickinson one out of Calgary. That one I left with some great connections. So the people in the groups, it's the same thing as when you meet them at trade shows. You have the same community, even the chats. The people you meet in the groups, it's shocking how much you have in common and the growth you can do together. And just connecting in the environment, I think, is the most beneficial aspect of it.
I agree.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, there's nobody that gets you like an entrepreneur.
It's very true. It's very true.
Yeah.
And it's, we all have to stick together because it's a hard road.
Especially women in business.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah, no, I was like, we don't have enough time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's true. And we all have to, and like the other thing is it's free to like posts, share posts, comment on posts. And I think that, entrepreneurs get it because we're constantly trying to get the algorithm right and trying to get the interaction. But I don't know if other people realize that is very, very beneficial to small businesses. So if you know a small business, you follow a small business, like it, post it, share it. Those are all free things that you can do to help out your friends. Yeah. But okay, I have a really good question. In the next 5 years, where do you see either the cafe or your direct consumer products in Canada or the US, wherever you want?
Yeah, our focus is really on our products right now. So I would say the growth, continuously evolving, creating, improving, all of those things. If we can say that in 5 years we'll be growing, we'll be improving, then we're just in a good place. We do want to expand our reach further. I think our online presence has to improve, because our shelf stable products have just launched. So that's something that we do want to focus on. Being a bootstrap business, we have to make sure that all of those things are in place before we continue. And just that slow growth organic growth is something that we've relied on. So we'll continue until we find some enormous funding. But this is what we've been doing, like just really pounding that pavement.
No, it's amazing. So if there was a store and if they were listening to this and you wanted to get in there, is there one on your wish list or at the top of your wish list that you'd like to get?
A product?
Yes, to sell your product.
Oh, 100% the Nudes ramen kits. So they're the first to market in the way that, like the way the noodles are dehydrated. It's nutrient rich. It's got 12 grams of protein, plant-based product, clean ingredients, no preservatives, shelf stable. It's got a broth and the noodles in there for you. You don't have to think, but you have that restaurant quality at home. It's something that we're super passionate about, and we're still continuing to try to improve the recipe, and that it's something that we're also launching in food service as well. So you'll see it at UBC, SFU,
Very cool.
BCIT being served at the cafeterias there.
So if there was a store that you wanted to be in, or a chain, which one that if you've not got into yet, that's on your list?
That's a tough one.
I had to put you on the spot for something.
Yeah, it's a tough one because we really want to concentrate on direct right now to consumers. We always really at the very beginning we really wanted to go into large retailers, and it's been a little bit more of a difficult, long, expensive process, I think, to get into those large scale stores. I understand that volume is enormous, but there's that cost that comes with that. And so being that bootstrap business, like we just need to be cautious about what, who we befriend in that process. And we've actually really made some amazing partnerships with like places like Stongs or Spud, and we do quite a bit of volume there. But yes, absolutely, we're hoping to get into more nationwide, national, large scale stores. Yeah,
that's exciting. No, it's very expensive to do business with the big guys.
Yeah,
and you really have to pick and choose when to go into them, and it's a very smart move to be thinking about it, because you don't have, like, you can have a very successful business never stepping foot into a large chain, or that could be your plan all along. So it's very, very smart to be thinking about it. We went in to some national accounts very early on, and they did do very well for us. But at the same time, someone was looking at the books and said, well, what is this over here? And I said, that's listing fees.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh. And then and I was like, yes, it does. People don't realize it does cost money to get on the shelf in many of these locations, and it costs money to stay on the shelf.
That's right.
And of course, if you don't have the turns, you get taken off the shelf. And don't worry, they charge you to leave the shelf as well, even if it was their choice.
That's
so
right.
You do have to be very mindful of where you put your effort and your money. But yes, direct consumer.
Just for that success of the business and the longevity of that product as well, right?
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah. And then of course you make it into the Nielsen data, and then everyone else sees how you're doing, and you're just like, that's just one aspect of my company, not the whole view as well. So direct consumer is very exciting as well. You get to know right away if things are working or not. Like, that is the one amazing thing about trade shows. Someone standing in front of you telling you they love your product. The one thing that's not mentioned about your nudes is they taste great.
Well, that's like that direct response, feedback, whether it be good or, difficult.
Yeah.
That's something that we really appreciate. And that's how most of our products have developed. And so we do enjoy doing those direct to consumer trade shows as well. Like that way, people can really vote with their own hard-earned dollars. And yeah, it's really the way that we've run our business so far. We definitely are looking into a bigger market, and hopefully that'll accelerate our growth even more. But again, in these economic times, we're just really cautious, and especially in food.
Yes, no, it's true.
Yeah,
And as we should be. And there's like this, I think someone said it was called slow growth, but it's really just,
that's right.
it's thoughtful growth is, I would say, the
Mhm.
more appropriate word, because it's not slow, it's thoughtful. You are making the right choices in the right markets with the right customers, and that you can't go wrong when you're doing it that way. It's pretty exciting.
We hope so.
Yeah. Now you have the product is amazing. So if anybody is listening right now, you do have to head to their website, or
Yes.
to a store near you. I think you have a store locator on your website, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We're in various markets throughout Canada, and then you can find our store locator, plantbasedworkshop.com. If anybody's wanting to use a passcode or a coupon code, Mayumi20 is something you could use.
You heard it here.
Yeah, 20% off site-wide.
And so with your frozen ones, are they only in the cafe, or are they also on your website?
So the frozen ones are distributed nationwide as well, but not online.
Okay.
So you can't purchase those online. However, you can through Vegan Supply or Spud.ca. We do have distribution partners. So you can see that online as well.
Well, thank you so much. But this was amazing founder chat. Thank you very much for teaching us all about your company and your products, and the story that came before, which is always very important in my mind and to the consumers out there listening. So thank you very much. And I am excited. Hopefully in the next few months, I will either see you at a trade show or maybe again on my founder chat, so we can get a little update on new products and where the company is going. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Caitlin.
Have a great week, everybody.